Have you ever had a dream in your life that felt so big and so real and you've had it for so long, and then one day you realize that maybe that is just not your dream anymore? But in the back of your head, it went, well, now I have had this for so long, I feel like I almost have to follow through. That is exactly what happened to me recently. I have spent 7 years in Australia, and I remember when I came there for the first time when I was 19, I knew that that was where I want to spend the rest of my life. I loved the vibe, I loved the people, I loved everything about it. And when I moved back to Europe because my grandpa started to get sick, I always knew in the back of my mind that eventually I want to go back, and that this time here is just really a layover. I have been back in Europe for 4 years now, and this year I had my flight booked back to Australia. On the 20th of January, I wanted to go back there. I wanted to start studying childcare. Then I wanted to get my permanent residency in order to be able to spend the rest of my life in Sydney. However, things started to change a little bit for me. And when I realized they did, I started to freak out, because for about 10 years now I have known that this is what I wanted to do. I have known that my life was going to be in Australia, and I'm pretty sure that even about 8 months ago I recorded a video where I said, would I ever live in Germany? Absolutely not. That is literally what I said word for word in that video. And then over the past 6 months, I would say, I started to realize more and more that I didn't mind being in Germany as much as I used to. And I also realized that being close to my family is more important than anything in the world. And so as the day approached, which was now about a month ago, and I realized that I will have to leave pretty soon, I started to get so anxious inside. My hair was falling out. I honestly have never experienced like that before. So since my mum passed away, I started to have stress-related hair loss. And this time, I would say a month or two before I was going to fly, it was so bad, it just would not stop falling out. And I could feel how I was stressing out. I started to make plans with every single person. My January looked so insane that literally 2 days before I was going to fly to Australia, I had booked a trip to the island where my mom last lived when she was still alive with my little brother, which is in the Netherlands. So I would have literally come back and a day later flew to Australia. And there was this huge part of me that was thinking, what if it's not the right choice to go? This voice started to come into my mind that just went, this is not the right decision. You should not be leaving. But it's really difficult when a voice like that comes up, because you have had this dream for so long. And maybe there is something in your life where you have had it for years even, that you knew exactly that was what you wanted to do, and it was just a safe thing. It was a thing that you never thought would change. And then it does change. And those feelings are incredibly scary, because first of all, you don't really know whether it's just fear or whether you actually just don't want it anymore. That's what I felt like in the beginning, because it would have been a huge change again, because my life has been building up over the past 4 years in Europe. So kind of starting from zero again would have been a little bit scary. And so a part of me was like, what if this is just the fear speaking? What if you really don't want to stay here, but you're just scared to go back and it's easier to stay here? But I feel like there's a big difference between being scared and just knowing something is not right for you anymore. And your gut feeling is going to tell you the answer. Those feelings that I felt inside that weren't fear of going there, it was the fear of leaving everybody behind here. So really last minute, I made the decision to cancel all of those plans. I canceled the flight, I canceled the college where I had already my 2 years course booked. Then I canceled my visa, and I remember exactly the feeling when the confirmation for my canceled visa came, because I was a little bit scared of that moment. But when I read that email, I was so happy that I made that decision, and now every single day I could not not be happier that I have now decided to stay here in Germany. And who knows, maybe it's going to be a different place in Germany, maybe it's going to be a different place in Europe, but at least I'm going to be close to my family. And one of the biggest problems that I realized I had while making this decision was I felt in a way like I was giving up. I felt like I'm not really pursuing my dreams anymore. And I felt like, what if this really means that you're just not fighting enough for what it is that you want? And I think that it is really dangerous to look at something like that, because yes, oftentimes we have to keep fighting for what it is that we want in life. But if we realize that we just no longer want it, and it doesn't matter how many people we have told that that was our dream, what matters is what you can feel your heart is asking for. And believe me, so many people said to me, are you actually insane? Like, this is what you have been wanting forever. And I said, yes, that's fine, but it is not what I want anymore. And that is okay. I don't think that life has to be perfectly structured. And I don't even think we need a plan B, because I had no plan B. When I made this decision, all I knew is that was I was gonna stay here. I'm just gonna throw all the plans that I've had for months now completely away, and I'm gonna see what happens. And now over the past 2 months, I have made new plans. Everything is falling into place. Everything feels more right than ever. And honestly, I am so grateful that I made this decision. This was the best decision that I could have ever made in my entire life. And if you ever have something like that, then please make sure that you listen to your heart. Don't listen to what people think of you canceling something like that. Don't listen to your ego, because your ego might tell you, well, come on, we have had this plan, we're gonna follow through with this plan, we're gonna stick with it, and it's gonna work out just fine. Don't listen to any of those voices. Listen to what you can feel your body and your mind are telling you, because they are always telling you the truth. And I remember asking this friend of mine, do you think that me not going now is like giving up? And what he said was so simple, but it really just stuck with me. He goes, you know what, Clara? Plans change and feelings change, and that is totally okay. And this is what I want you to remember always. It is totally okay. It is not like giving up. Just because I don't want something anymore, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have to go through it just for the sake of not giving up on something. Sometimes that is just the way it is. Sometimes you're just going to change direction, and that is okay. It is totally fine to rearrange yourself new and to start over, even if it's at zero, and to look, okay, what is the next best option and how can I work with these changes, rather than just pushing through for the sake of pushing through. There's no point. It is not going to make you happy. And honestly, if I hadn't made this decision, especially so last minute, I can guarantee you that I would have been very unhappy right now being there, because it is just not where I was meant to be. As much as I love Australia, I know that I belong close to the people that I love the most. So whatever it is that you do in life, don't ever feel pressured to follow through with those things. And remember that changing plans is so fine. We can literally do whatever it is that we want to do in this life. That is the beautiful thing. You have that possibility, so use it. Don't feel like you're a slave to what people tell you or what society is telling you, because you're not. You can do the things that make you happy, and if everybody's against that, and if everybody thinks that's silly, and if everybody thinks you shouldn't be doing that, then so be it. At least you are going to be happy.